I'm literally filming this video in a weird time. I just got out of school. I thought I'd film it because I look really cute right now. Like, I literally can't stop looking at myself because I just look like really cute. I can show you guys the outfit if you want. I'll insert a picture because I'm definitely going to take pictures of my outfit. Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about some more personal reading habits of mine, which is how I annotate and rate books. Those are like two ideas that kind of go together in booktube videos. Like, these are my favorite videos to watch too. I just love seeing everybody's annotated books and like thoughts that go into how they critically think about their text or just whatever they're reading. Again, this video is very spontaneous. I was supposed to do better planning on this today and do it tomorrow, but you can't miss a good opportunity when you look so good. I'm gonna get straight into it. We don't want to ramble on, of course. First, I'm going to talk about how I rate books, because that's easier. So, I do obviously use the traditional 5-star system. I've just become so reliant on it that I don't think I could transition into Copile, or however it's said in the little lettering or whatever. I love Carnival. I love the idea. It has all of the elements which I'm thinking of. Obviously, it has all the elements a lot of people think of when they're analyzing their books, but I am just so reliant on Goodreads and now the story graph. If you guys haven't started using the story graph, please use it. It is amazing visually, and just the interface is great and has everything you need when talking about and rating books. But anyways, so I just use the traditional 5-star system because I'm comfortable with using it. And I guess I should talk about specifically ratings. So typically I give a lot of ratings between 3 and 4.75 stars. I do use the quarter-star system because there is a very specific point that I need to get to sometimes with my books. Like 4.5 isn't enough. So I do use the quarter-star system with the 0.25, the 0.5, and the 0.75 math to kind of talk about what goes into each of those, because I know everybody has a really different system within that 5-star rating system. So first, talking about highest, which is 5 stars, of course. 5 stars, I used to give to a lot of books because I used to rate books based purely on enjoyment, and I have gotten so good at trying to guess what I like that I just know that I'm going to enjoy everything I read. No. Do I read a lot of my favorite genre? I mean, yeah, but like I do go outside of that, so I'm not limiting myself to that. But I just know within each genre, each category, each author's works, what I'm going to like. Obviously, I wouldn't read something I don't like and don't find interesting. So I used to give a lot of 5 stars. Nowadays, though, it's more rare. I don't know how many 5 stars I've given. I think I've given a few out of like the 20-ish books I've read so far this year. If I have to give it a 5 stars, I have to thoroughly enjoy the book. It needs to bring me so much joy, so much emotion. It needs to... That scared me so much. 5 stars, it makes it sound like I'm making it exceptional. Again, it doesn't have to be like exceptional. I need to thoroughly enjoy my experience reading the book. A book I gave 5 stars recently actually was Felix Ever After. I just related to that book so much, and I just loved that book, and I felt like it was exactly what I needed in my life. Like all the stars aligned. It was perfect, and so I ended up giving it a 5 stars. What you will see with each of these is that my reading ratings are really based on experience. If I have a terrible experience with a book, it could be like literally this amazing book I read. If it's just a terrible experience, I'm still gonna rate it a little bit lower than I probably would have if I had a better experience. Moving to 4 stars. 4 stars is a more common rating nowadays for me. I'm typically rating things between like a 3.75 and a 4.75. Within the 4 stars, though, I will get more specific. 4.75 are books that I really, really like and would classify as a 5 stars if I didn't have a specific issue that I can't get past with the book. And then a 4 stars, more specifically, are books, again, this is my like general rating for a lot of things, are just books I really enjoy, books I thought were great, books that I could get behind and supporting. I mean, I have issues with every book I read, including 5-star books. I think 4 stars, though, there's like more more issues there. Atmosphere is a really big part of books for me, so if the atmosphere is just not what I want it to be, then... Moving on to 3 stars. 3 stars is not a bad rating at all. Again, I know a lot of people kind of go black or white with that. 3 stars for me is not bad, especially if it's getting like a 3.75 or 3.5, which is... I think I lied to you before. I think a 3.5 is more common for me nowadays than 4 stars is. It's 2019 and before, like 5 years before, 4 stars was powering my rating system. Nowadays, this year, it's definitely 3.5 or 3.75 when I can't commit to the full 4 stars. This is books that I have a lot of, well, books I really enjoy, first of all. Let's talk about the positives. But they do not, how do you say this? They don't necessarily amaze me or wow me. They're I think some examples for this, if you've heard me talk about these books, then I think you're going to get the energy that I'm trying to give you. But Asylum, I really liked that book, but there are just so many issues I had. The characters, the plot of the first book, plot holes and such. So again, 3.75 is not bad. I don't think like 3 stars necessarily is bad either. 3 stars is very average for me. A book I gave 3 stars is A Christmas Carol. I like the idea of it, but I don't think for me it really did anything. I didn't have any impact. I quite thought it was a cheery book actually, even though it's a gothic horror, which doesn't mean it makes it any less gothic horror, but I don't know. I couldn't get into the writing. Ooh, will I like it? But no, not the point. We're getting a little bit more on the average part. While I did say 3 stars isn't a bad rating, I still think there could be a lot of improvement in my own reading experience. Now, for the more rare ratings I give, I literally never give 2 or 1 star ratings because I just have no reason to. I just know what I like. We already talked about this. I know what I like and I'll read what I like. We have 2 stars. 2 stars, I have to have so many issues with the book. Like, there is maybe 1, 2, or 3 redeeming qualities that are super small, but besides that, everything else is just super messy. Execution, characters are just so bad that I cannot get past it. Plot, there's just no plot. Like, it has to be a pretty bad book. And then 1 stars, which is like, I don't think I've ever given a book 1 stars. I just can't. It has to be that bad that like the book needs a 1 star. Like literally, if I've never given a rating, like I've read okay books, but even those weren't deserving of a 2 star, let alone a 1 star. So yeah, 1 star. If you ever see me rate a book a 1 star, ooh, girl, you know I'm gonna get messy. Let's hope that never happens. Now we're gonna talk about how I annotate books with examples, because this is the best way. Visually, this is how we learn. These are almost all of the books I've annotated. I think I have a couple more, except I didn't finish those, so the annotating on those are very limited. Like The Plague, for example, I only got like 1/3 of the way through, so only 1/3 of it is annotated, and they're really bad annotations too. I wasn't like paying attention to what I was reading. These are ones that I fully annotated. Annotations are different for me among everything. Even between school books. School books are the texts I annotate the most, obviously, just so that I could like just better understand, but I always annotate in relation to the homework assignments so I could more easy or find the answers quicker and more efficiently. And then I have a couple books here that aren't school books that I just annotated on my own. One is a reread. I've decided that I'm going to annotate rereads because we just love to do that. And I have also made a wise decision to not anymore annotate books on their original read. I just feel like I never know. Like, even though I know I'm probably going to like everything I read, you just never know if I'm just going to want to get rid of it. So I'm very picky. Not picky, or specific I should say, about what I want to annotate. I think that's what a lot of people do. They typically just annotate on rereads because you just never know, man. You never know. Annotating is one of my favorite things though. I just love writing in books. Although I've stopped literally writing in books. I write everything on sticky notes because I'm just too scared, and I don't know if my sisters are going to need these books. So starting to get into specific texts that I've annotated just so you can like kind of get a pattern on what I do. Well, I'll tell you everything I've annotated. Lord of the Flies, Madness Mimic, Fablehaven, How to Read Literature Like a Professor, and my most recent annotation, which is Outliers. We'll start off with Lord of the Flies, which is just my favorite book. Literally, this book brings me so much joy just looking at it and thinking about the story. There's just so much to the story that I love. There's just so much to that reading experience that brought me so much joy. So, Lord of the Flies, I read this sophomore year. Hello. I just had a lot of fun annotating it. So with my school text, I will put a key on the back of the book, always on the back of the book, the annotations I'm doing. So for example, here's the key for this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because the focus doesn't work like that. Are you seeing that? I needed to like look at characters and their specific traits and such. Highlighter, I had a highlighter for each character. Orange was Jack, green was Ralph, blue was Simon, yellow was Littlins, pink was Roger, and the purple pen was Piggy because I ran out of highlighters. I did a lot of kind of that annotating at the beginning, if you can see that. Here's another example of that, yeah. And then at the beginning, when they were doing character introductions, I highlighted the character introductions so you can kind of see the beginning, or a more obvious contrast of the beginning to the end of the characters, if you get what I'm trying to say. And then in these sticky notes that you could see, I had themes because there's another part of the assignment which I've now forgotten, but I just looked up all the themes of Lord of the Flies and I assigned it to a color. So light pink is civil versus savagery, orange is individual versus community, hot pink is nature of evil, light blue is man versus nature with a box around the text. It's dehumanization of relationships. Yellow is loss of consequence, and underlined in red pen is consequence of war. Obviously you can see I have a lot of pink here. What is that? I did a little drawing as well. This one is at the end of chapter 9. It's a little morbid if you know what happens in that chapter, but it just adds to this whole personalization of this book. Highly recommend you listen to Lord of the Flies. There's a lot of description of nature, and I know everybody and their mother hates listening to details of nature, so recommend the audiobook. To talk about Madness Mimic, this one is a book I obviously read on my own. I talked about this in my wrap up. I'll link it up there, which one it was, but I did like this book. I kind of figured I was going to like it because it was going to hit me right at the right mark for what I needed at that time. So I decided to annotate it in my first read, which was a little scary. I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, when I say that. So blue is quotes, and something you'll see universally across my annotations to come is pink is for commentary. I'm a very active reader. Not active, I'm a very physical reader. Diction is important. So I typically speak out loud my thoughts as I'm reading, but I thought, why not put them down in notes? So let's turn to one of these pink ones. I just put I knew it right here. Oh, okay. I can't tell you what I mean in reference to that, but you know, just little commentary like that. Let's turn to another one. Finally, an ally. Blue is for quotes. I'll read you guys a quote here. I know which one I want to read you, I think. Sincerity is a myth and a dangerous one in my opinion. We are taught to be sincere in order to keep us from saying what we think. And what sort of sincerity is that? When you are weak, you can seem strong. When you are strong, you can seem weak. In this way, we shall outwit those who would dominate you. Fablehaven, this one has an annotation of a reread. I don't know why I decided to annotate this actually. This was super random. You can see this is only pink. This is for commentary. I have some microaggressions marked. This book is from 2008. It's still good to mark it. Remember to ethically read and consume. Very important. I recommend you look up what that means. You can turn it to a couple. But this one I put ungrateful child. Jesus Christ. God. Okay, that's obviously in regards to Seth. We have a school text here, How to Read Literature Like a Professor, which I read this summer. You can see that the text is marked in great detail. This is purely for homework. Literally, I've marked this to the brim. Like, it looks beautiful. I think this is my favorite book after Lord of the Flies. This is my favorite book I've annotated. It looks gorgeous, but I just annotated elements. There's elements I needed to look at in each individual chapter, and there's like 26 chapters in this. God, look at how pretty that looks though. I mean, it's a kind of excessive, necessary, but excessive. Again, we have the key here. Blue is thesis of each chapter. We have quotes for pink. Yellow is questions, personal questions I have. And then orange was homework questions. And then the most recent one I annotated, which is outliers. I have 3 different annotations here. Blue, did I do a key? I didn't do a key for this one. I don't know why I didn't do a key, but blue I think was, blue was commentary. Yellow was points Gladwell was trying to make, and orange was questions. I don't know really what to say about this. I don't know. It was again in regards to like whatever homework I had. I forgot. Why did I mark it like that? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you kind of get an idea of how I rate and annotate and my whole like critical thinking system that I have. Again, I'm literally just reading for fun here. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment down below if you annotate your books and how you annotate your books. I know everybody has a kind of different system. I know some people don't even annotate their books. So let me know. That's like my favorite thing. Or maybe link down a video if you have annotated, if you've done a similar video to this, because these are like my favorite videos to watch. I literally find like new booktubers by just watching these videos, searching up how I rate and annotate and just subscribing. I think that's it. It's super hot. I'm gonna go in the pool probably right now. I'll talk to you guys later. What do I say at the end of my videos? It hasn't been that long, has it? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.